And we can tell this by looking at their dentation. If the teeth are really worn down, that means they've been eating a lot of what? Fruits, nuts, and berries, because that'll wear down your teeth. But if you're just eating meat, are your teeth as worn down? Nope. No. So we can tell about 80% of the calories being consumed by hunter-gatherers is coming from fruits, nuts, and vegetables. About another 20% coming from meat. But meat is much more important once we start getting the larger brain. As I think I've mentioned to you before, the large brain is an energy sample. The brain is, I think, 5% of our total body mass, but it's consuming something 30 to 40% of all calories. High quality protein, meat, very important. Though it's primitive in our ability to hunt. Okay, so they're moving constantly. And they have a very simple division of labor. Again, it's based on kind of biology. They're living close to nature. It's based on sex and age. What do men do? Hunt, that's right. What do women do? Gather. Nobody's staying at home. Everybody's out there engaged in subsistence. How come? Because of the primitiveness of the technology. How come men hunt? How come women gather?
Because women were able to gather more quickly while men were able to kill more quickly.
Okay, yeah, it's efficient that way. Often people talk, well, men are stronger, faster than women. It's true, in terms of muscle mass, men tend to be a little stronger than women. But that's not probably the primary reason. We're so used to thinking in male-defined terms. What do men do? Women are better. No. What can women do that men can't? And that's probably the reason why they gather. What can women do that men can't? Childbearing. And particularly, nurse children. Hunter-gatherers have been known to nurse their children very, very long. The average American will wean her baby. About what age? Take the baby off the breast. Anybody have any guess? I know you guys are closer to being babies than having babies. At least most do. But in general, any idea how long before the average American woman?
2 years.
Yeah. Put it away.
Are you factoring in the people who choose not to breastfeed?
Yeah, that drops the average down. Very good, Michael. No, let's just take a look at the people who do, because the average length of time would be like 2 or 3 days. Because a lot of women, of the women who actually breastfeed their children, any ideas? 9
months.
Pardon? 9 months, a year and a half. Yeah, 9 months to a year and a half. Hunter-gatherers, 5 months, years. What? Do the little suckers have teeth? Yes. Are they starting to speak? Yes. Tonight, Mother, I would like the left breast. What? How come? How come so late? Now again, you got to think sociologically, basically in terms of this subsistence technology. Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but if they do that, they don't have to go out and hunt more.
Okay, good. Yeah, exactly. Again, it's based on subsistence. Think about it. They're in the wild. They drink out of rivers. There's a lot of crap floating around in rivers. Giardia, piece of little dead beaver floating down, stuff like that. If you know anything about children, you know that breastfeeding gives the baby what? Colostrum from the mother. Is that child getting help resisting infections and disease by the stuff that's in the milk from the mom? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is a perfect form of food for a human being, a little baby. High in protein. It's always available. It doesn't have crap in it from the local river supply. Interesting, in the third world, even today, the #1 killer of little children in poor third world countries. Anybody have any idea what it is?
Water.
It's the water, exactly. It's called diarrhea and dysentery. We get told if we go to poor third world countries, have a good time, but don't drink the water or eat the food. But they can. Those that have survived have evolved a resistance to the stuff in the water. But not the little babies, not the little children. Up until about 5 years old, your immunological system is still pretty primitive. But those kids are protected from those infections, the crap in the water. Perfectly designed food source. Always available, doesn't rot or go bad. It's kind of the first example of fast food. You know, McDonald's. It's kind of, okay, here comes the bad joke. You ready for the bad joke? It's kind of McMamory. Get it? McDonald's. Okay, never mind. I said it was a bad joke. But get the point about this. It is basically a very simple way of life. They are having to deal with nature, and the subsistence is so primitive, they have very little other choice. Some anthropologists have even gone farther in terms of basic biology. This is a little weird. And don't try this at home. But there's a speculation that this late nursing may also be a primitive form of what? Anybody want to guess? What? It's like, no, not close. Birth control. Birth control. Because as long as a woman is lactating, that is, as long as she is producing milk, does that tend to suppress ovulation? That is, you know. Yes, it does. We know about hunter-gatherers is that you get too many people in the group, that's a problem. That's a problem. Hard to travel around, not enough food for everybody. So it may be a primitive form of birth control. Again, get the kind of logic that's going on here. All right, so division of labor is simple. Men hunt, women gather, which is why I like that cartoon. I don't know if you can see this. Hairy little guy. The two bathrooms, one says hunters, the other says gatherers. Okay, never mind. All right. I know you think this is pretty boring, but I think this is so cool. All right, what do we know about the stratification system amongst hunter-gatherers? Very, very simple as well. And the most equal societies we know of. People tend to share because they don't have much. There is no social surplus. Remember, there's not enough to be unequal with. You know, maybe you have a couple of bear claws on some twine that you hang around your neck. That's about as unequal as it gets. And if we're going to all survive, we need to share. Bill, last week, killed an antelope. Now, if he doesn't share this week, screw him. Because Steve killed the antelope this week. Now we all cooperate and share. Do we survive as a group? These are the most equal societies we know of. Yes, there's a little bit of distinction, particularly between what groups of people? Men and women. Yeah, very good. Because men are the hunters, women are the gatherers. Women are producing most of the food, but men produce the food that's most valued by hunter-gatherers because it's harder to get. So men have a slightly, but not a great, slightly elevated status in general amongst hunter-gatherers. Many of them are fairly democratic. They make decisions in group, particularly the elders of the group. Will sit around the campfire talking about where they should go next. Oh, and interestingly, as you age amongst hunter-gatherers, does your status go up or down? Up. Unlike our society, sorry, this is bitter for me. As the people get old in our society, does their status go up or down? Down. You know, get old and ugly. Okay, but not amongst hunter-gatherers. Your status goes up. Why? Yeah.
Age and wisdom.
Age and wisdom. Exactly. Exactly. These are pre-literate societies. Do they have writing? No. How do they preserve the knowledge? Orally. Orally. And the old guys are the ones who are kind of walking encyclopedias for the tribe. Old Bill remembers how to hunt bunnies. Oh, it's old-fashioned, guys. But he remembers how to trap them. Sally knows where to find the berries. Old Sally knows where to find the berries up in the hills. Those are the elders of the tribe. Tremendous respect because wisdom, knowledge, no other way of preserving it except for oral. Again, get the sense of this life is like for them. All right. So life expectancy small, constantly moving, inequality low. You can't be unequal with something you don't have. Yeah.
Actually, in my anthropology class, we actually talked about this. There was actually a language that they used for preserving it. It was the cave games.
For preserving what?
They're preserving like the knowledge and stuff. It was cave games.
Okay.
And one of our ancestors, one of our Homo ancestors, it was actually a bigger thing with that. I can't remember which one. It wasn't the Homo sapiens. It was the other ones that we were dealing with.
Yeah, we're Homo sapiens. Yeah, we're the Neanderthals.
Yeah, them. The
Well,
Neanderthals.
technically, they're also Homo sapien. We're Homo sapien sapien. They were Homo sapien Neanderthal. The reason for that, we can prove that, is because we have now evidence that they interbred. Especially, you take a look at human being DNA, and there is a human being from Europe. White boy's DNA, there's a significant amount of Neanderthal in that. But not Africans. Not Africans. Neanderthals are found largely in more cold climates like that. And interesting, this is an aside, this kind of relates to how we talk about this stuff and the nature of subsistence technology. The big question for many years amongst an awful lot of anthropologists was why the Neanderthals died out. Where did they go? Because what we know is actually Homo sapien sapien Neanderthals, were they around at the same time? Yes, we were. Guess who survived? You see a lot of Neanderthals around you right now? And the big question was, did we chimp them or did we bonobo them? What does that mean? If we chimp them, what do we do? Kill them. If we bonobo them, what do we do? Interbred. Probably, the truth is, we did what? Both. Both. But there is an for first, we just assumed we just killed them off. But now, with DNA, we now realize, no. You know, some pretty horny hunter-gatherers, sapiens are out there. They can, okay, 80 port in a storm. That Neanderthal's looking pretty hot. Okay, so both, chipping and bonobo. But again, get the sense of the kind of way we think about this. It's all done in terms of survival. This is people living very close to nature, which explains their religion. What kind of religion found amongst hunter-gatherers? Animism. They're scared of nature. Nature has control over them. They often worship the really powerful animals that are controlling them. The lions, the wildebeest, the hyenas, the eagles, the wolves. Take a look at those totem poles from Native Americans. And they will often have animals that are either food sources or powerful animals. The eagle clan, the wolf clan, the bear clan. Again, the nature of this. And interestingly, warfare, because of the primitives of the technology, was also fairly limited. Do early hunter-gatherers engage in warfare? Duh. Just like chimps. It's awful like chimp warfare. Sticks and stones, rock fights. But there's a real reason for human beings to cooperate and limit warfare. One, trade. You know, we picked a whole bunch of bananas, and we've got bananas coming out our ears. We're kind of tired of them. The tribe on the other side of the hill's got a lot of berries. We'll trade you bananas for berries. Cooperation. But even more importantly, I think the people around you probably appreciate that. That's a little weird. Okay.
That's what I was saying, so.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we got them cooperating on one other really important issue: the trading of what? Spouses. Look, you got a group of 20 people. Everybody in that group is probably what? At least cousins. They're related to each other. So you have now matured and you're looking for a marriage partner. You can't marry inside the group because what are you talking about?